Man, I'm sure you heard it. Come to Canada. It's a great way of life. Free healthcare, amazing experiences. Everybody flexing when they get here. I think you heard this one the most. Canada needs people. There's some truth to some of those things, but I think that before you make a decision to move anywhere in the world, especially during this time, you need to do your research. This video is just a realistic review from an international student perspective, from an immigrant, someone who has worked, lived the good, the bad, and the ugly for the past 2 years. No fabricating, no flexing, no pretending as if life is perfect. This is a video for somebody who is seriously considering moving to Canada. Without further ado, this is a broad state of mind. And if you're thinking about moving to Canada, keep watching this video. So yeah, man, it's no secret. Everybody want to relocate. People want to move. People want to experience life, especially during these kind of times where there's so many loss of jobs and people just want a new experience. And I can relate to this feeling because growing up as a kid in Nassau, Bahamas, I always wanted to travel. I always wanted to go on family vacations and stuff like that. I didn't have the opportunity. My parents really didn't have the finances. And the furthest I ever went was probably Miami, talking about the flea market, going to Walmart, and maybe doing a little school shopping. So as I got older, I always told myself, one day when I get the money, I'm going to travel the world. And in 2015, when I was completing college locally, I got the opportunity of a lifetime to go on a fully paid trip to China. It was an amazing experience, leaving Nassau, Bahamas, going to New York for the first time, and then eventually a 12-hour flight to Beijing. And that was so amazing. And I told myself after that trip, every year I'm going to travel to a different country. And ever since then, I've been doing my thing. I went to Cuba, I went to Orlando for a bit, and then in 2017, I said, you know what, I'm hearing a lot about this Canada, and I want to check it out. And I said, you know what, I'm going to watch a Raptors game for my birthday. That's when my desire to move to Canada really came into effect because, you know, I had an option between going to the US and Canada, but in the US, I was seeing a lot of strange things like
officers by a private guard.
Officers being chased by the
So yeah, no offense to my friends from the States, but you know, I just wanted something a little less exciting. So after my birthday trip in 2017, as a tourist, I made the decision that I was probably going to just apply for some scholarships, look for different schools and opportunities to relocate. My first point, you know, as a tourist, we oftentimes have this misconception that life in a different country is better simply because we went there on vacation and we assume that, okay, I've been to Canada, I've been to the US, so I know how it is. But you can never compare living in a country with your tourist experience. For example, a lot of people ask me, why would you leave the Bahamas to live in the cold? Or, man, the Bahamas is such a beautiful place. I was there on vacation. And yes, that's true. But maybe you just saw this aspect of the Bahamas. But in reality, the locals like myself and many other people, we have to see all of this on a daily basis.
Get right out on this road, bro.
You need some help?
Don't mistake your tourist experience for living in a country, working in a country, and surviving, because everywhere someone is going through a struggle, just a different struggle. So after I decided that, hey, I want to go to Canada, I applied for some scholarships. I saved up my money for like 3 years. 2018, finally made that decision, packed up my bag, said goodbye to my family, and made the move. And I was excited. I was ready for a new experience, a new journey. And guys, I'll tell you, I was excited until I stepped foot out that airport that night. I never felt any type of cold like this. In that moment, I knew I was going to have a real experience. So now for the first thing I wish I knew before coming to Canada. First thing I wish I knew before moving to Canada, like when they say it's cold, it's really cold. And you might be saying, yeah, well, I knew that. But you don't know how cold it really is until you got to commute every single day. I'm talking about you got to walk to the bus stop. You got to try to get to work in this weather every day, no excuse. I know back home in the Bahamas, when it gets 65 degrees Fahrenheit, everybody is in blankets and jackets and boots. And that's on an island because we are used to tropical climate. But when you come to Canada, like right now, I'm waiting on the bus, 25 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about -4 Celsius. And I know a lot of people, they're not into that. A lot of people would not sign up for that if they really knew. And like I said, it's easy to get someone's advice who maybe at a university and they don't have to be out in the cold every day. But talk to someone who is an immigrant or talk to someone who doesn't have a car, and they will tell you for a fact that it's not fun waiting on the bus stop. And 25 Fahrenheit is good. I mean, I've been on the bus stop standing up and it was -0 degrees Fahrenheit. So you do the math for the Celsius. But yeah, this is something I really wish I knew because you would be more prepared. But as I got accustomed to it, I learned that buying the right clothes is key. Like right now, this thing right here, this is not fashion. This is called a parka. It's really insulated. I got my scarf, I got my gloves on, and I'm still cold. So imagine not having the right gear on. And even when I'm wearing my jeans, I wear tights under them, off my Timberland boots, and I wear some thermal socks. And that's how I survive in the cold. So if you're a person you know that, man, I don't love the cold, I can't stand it, I get sick really easy, I have sinus, I don't suggest you really uproot your life to be in this struggle, because like I said, if you don't have the sufficient funds for a car, then you're gonna have to be on the bus. In Canada, there's a bus system. It's not perfect. You could follow the buses and track them on Google. You can track them to see if they're on time. And sometimes they come 5 minutes earlier, sometimes they come 5 minutes later, sometimes they delay it. So you're still gonna be out here in the cold. You might say, well, I'm gonna buy a car. Well, car comes with maintenance. And especially in the winter, it's a different level of maintenance. You know, you have to be changing your tires every 6 months. You need to learn how to drive in extreme conditions. So yeah, man, it's a lot of things I wish I knew. You know, I just thought it was, you know, yeah, it's cold, I'm gonna deal with the cold. But you don't know how cold it really is until you move to Canada, man. Until you have to live it and experience it every single day. So you gotta make sure you're wearing the right gear. You gotta make sure you're taking your vitamins, because it can get real out here, y'all. So that's it for the weather. That's just something I wish I knew. And I'm gonna try to get to my bus right now because it's cold out here. So yeah, guys, the second thing I really wish I knew about moving to Canada is how expensive it could get. Man, I'm talking about the cost of living in Canada is outrageous. And it greatly depends on where you decide to live. If you want to live in Ontario, British Columbia, Nova Scotia, all of these decisions are extremely important. Which city you want to live in, if you want to live close to the downtown area, or if you want to live out in some rural area. All of these things come with a certain price tag. So before you move, you need to sit down and budget. You need to research online, look at the city, look how much the transit costs, the average rent is for that city, look how far you'll be living from the school, how long it's going to take you to get to the grocery store, because Uber isn't cheap in Canada. All of these things I didn't know, but I'm happy that I saved a substantial amount of money along with different scholarship opportunities that I was able to budget every week and look at my expenses. You're going to have to get a phone plan. That could go from anywhere between $40 to $90 depending on what you want. So my advice with the phone plan would be bring your own unlocked device and get one of the cheapest plans. You don't want to come to Canada and just get a new iPhone because it's $0 down. You know, all of these things are designed to get the most out of people, especially immigrants, because you don't have any credit. You're excited because you can get these things so conveniently. Before you move to Canada, you need to practice discipline, have some financial maturity. Just try to save as much as possible. They cut back on that fast food. Go to the grocery store and buy your groceries in bulk. I'd suggest going to Costco. You get a membership for $60 a year. Split the bill with somebody and you get your groceries and cook at home, because you ordering food and ordering takeout every week, that's an added expense. And when it comes to utilities like rent, you have to be careful because there are a lot of landlords, they really target immigrants because they know that you need a place to stay. Some of the rent in the city is, they could go from anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 for a studio apartment. A lot of international students, they rent out basement apartments, 4 and 5 to 1 basement. Some people rent out a bedroom in individuals' houses. People do anything over here to survive and save money. There were a lot of students in my classroom. They would be sleeping in class, and I used to be wondering why these guys so tired every day. But these guys working 2 and 3 jobs just to survive and cope. for that coveted work permit. So living in Canada is not cheap. And that's how the system has designed it, because they know immigrants are coming with their life savings. Immigrants are coming to work twice as hard as anybody else, and they want jobs. International students in Canada pay at least 4 times as much as the local students. Immigrants are coming and they want the entry-level jobs, they want the part-time jobs, because it is extremely expensive in Canada. Schools know it, the government know it. It's a system that is designed to get the most out of you. So when you come here, you have to be extremely focused and you have to be ready to work hard, save your money, and make wise decisions. So yeah, guys, the third thing I really wish I knew before moving to this place is location is everything. Location is the most important thing you need to understand before you move to Canada. So many people just say, yeah, I'm moving to Canada, but they don't tell you where, they don't tell you why, they don't tell you how they're going to be getting around on a day-to-day basis. So from my experience living here for the past 2 years, living and maneuvering through the GTA and up in the north, I could tell you, your life will change forever if you choose the wrong city. From my personal experience, what you're not going to realize is the further you are from your job, it's going to have an extreme effect on your life. So many people in Canada spend at least 5 to 6 hours just going to work and getting back on a daily basis. God help you if you don't have a car. No matter what weather conditions there are, it don't matter how far you live, you have to be to work on time, because there are millions of people waiting to replace you. You have to choose carefully. The thing about living far away from the city or far away from your job is your rent may be less, but you're going to pay for that in transportation. You have to pick your poison. Do I want to live close to work but pay high rent? Do I want to live far and pay in commuting? Not only just commuting from a far location, socially and culturally, living on a street corner where you may be the only person from your country or your ethnicity. It's a strange feeling, y'all, but you don't want to live in a community where you don't speak the language that they are speaking. You don't look like them, and you're going to feel ostracized and isolated. And you may be wondering, oh, what's the big deal? The big deal is people naturally gravitate towards familiarity. There are going to be a few nice people here and there. Realistically, from other cultures and countries, they click together. I admire that, I admire the fact that they have unity, but they are not socially inclusive. Where you live can greatly affect your mood, your mental health, and your mindset. It's either going to make you stronger or it's going to make you feel really depressed. So you have to choose wisely. The location really didn't matter. I just was going to get you and figure things out. But if I knew then what I knew now, I would have chosen a place that was more diverse. I would have chosen a different area to live in. It's not like in the Bahamas when I jump on my car at 7:30 after waking up at 7 and I just cruise to work. I stop and I get some breakfast. But in Canada, you have to time everything. You have to time when the bus coming, and you can't be late for that bus, because if you miss that bus, you potentially miss the train. And if you miss the train, you just set yourself an hour back. So location is important. Take it from me. I have experienced something like this, and commuting up and down every day, it's extremely exhausting. But the good part about commuting is if you're taking transit and you're taking a train, you can listen to ebooks, you can read. Times I even took a nap in the GO train. I won't suggest you do that. I just was extremely exhausted. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Whenever you hear someone talking about they moving to Canada because there are better jobs, better opportunities, there's so many things to do. There's some truth to the aspect where there are a lot of jobs. But think about this now. There are millions of people competing for the same job with the same qualifications, and even you got to think that Canada does not really recognize your qualifications from your home country unless it's international recognized certifications, and you still have to do certain certification exams to verify your skills. So if you are a person, you work in a minimum wage job in wherever country you came from, you don't have any skill, the chances you getting a good job may not be high. So don't expect because you were a big man in your bank or wherever you were working in your country that you can come to Canada and get that same respect. When you come to Canada for a job, the chances are you're going to be working at the bottom and you have to prove yourself. If you are somebody who don't want to hustle and work hard, don't come to Canada, because the job market is oversaturated in a lot of places, especially in Ontario. there are so many immigrants applying for the same job. If you're not a person who's willing to go on an interview every day for 3 or 4 months, you don't want to push out 20 or 30 resumes a week, then this may not be the move for you. I didn't understand how competitive it was until I went to school here, and I realized that I don't think you should move to Canada for a job. You gotta have a reason why you want to excel in your field. And especially now during this type of time, essential work is key. You may have a difficult time finding a job in Canada, depending on where you go. Like I said, different provinces have different job markets. If you're working in the technology or skills like carpentry, plumbing, electrical, you have a great chance of finding a job. But like I said, don't expect to come to Canada with your foreign experience and qualifications and just get a managerial job or be a supervisor. There are situations where people do get these opportunities, but don't be entitled. Don't think that you deserve to have a job. Come here with a mindset that, hey, I'm going to work hard, and if I get this job, I'm going to work and get the experience. Canadians' experience trumps everything over here. You could have a PhD in whatever you want, but when you come to Canada, someone with Canadian experience is going to get preference because they have been here, they have worked, they understand the work culture, and they are ready to put in the work. So when you come into Canada, don't just come because you heard that there are a lot of jobs. Study the market, look on websites like Indeed and LinkedIn and other places and see what type of jobs are available. And if you are not quite ready for those jobs, do some international certifications, brush up on some of your skills, brush up on your soft skills, interview skills. If you're a person who don't like to go on interviews, then you're gonna have a hard time because you gotta talk, you gotta network. And if you're not willing to talk and network, you will find yourself at the bottom scraping to survive because there are a lot of jobs in Canada, but there are not a lot of great jobs with great opportunity for growth. Yeah, guys, this one is funny. This one is funny because before I came here, I used to hear a lot, yeah, man, the people in Canada are so nice. Everybody is so polite. And let me tell you for a fact, people are people everywhere you go. And you can't be naive to think that everybody is going to like you or everybody is going to be welcoming. But you see, Canada has that reputation because people are pretty much passive aggressive. They're not going to come straight at you. They're not going to be wild and crazy in most situations. You're going to have those instances.
Hey, show me which one of you is going to be a gentleman. Show me. Either new.
But you see, being polite is a habit in Canada. So you're going to see a lot of people smiling at you. You're going to see people, hello, all right. But that doesn't mean they are nice. It's a habit. People are going to go on the bus and they tell the bus driver, thank you. That's just customary, guys. So don't assume that when you come here, people are just going to love you and say, oh my God, where are you from? Oh, be my friend and all of this and that. It's so difficult to maintain friendships in Canada. They don't see you on a daily basis or they don't have to interact with you. Nobody got time to really build relationships with you just because. If it's a work relationship, it has a chance to develop. If it's a neighbor or a roommate, sure. But when you meet somebody for the first time and you have a great conversation, just get in your mind that you're probably never going to see that person again. The chances of you meeting somebody and really connecting with them is extremely rare. Even if it's one person in Canada, you can consider a friend, someone who would help you out if you're in trouble, someone who's going to help you find a new place, someone who would be willing to help you to move, because you're going to need to know somebody to show you the ropes. Because as an immigrant, you don't know what's going on. You don't know the do's and don'ts. So you need to be friends with at least one person who can help you out. So yeah, guys, that's just pretty much everything I wanted to talk about my experiences over the past 2 years. And like I said, a lot of people don't talk about the struggle. They post their pictures and you assume that everything is just better. But the grass is not always greener on the other side. Do your research, be prepared, work hard, try to learn as much as possible. And eventually you'll get to a place where you're comfortable and you start to see growth and improvement. Because everybody's situation is different. Like I said, my challenges may be different from your challenges. But don't assume that just because your cousin or your friend or someone posting online all of the nice things, that as soon as you arrive, you're going to have those exact experiences. Do your own research. Don't assume anything. Come with an open mindset to learn, to experience life from a different perspective. I'm not saying don't come, but when you do, just know that you're going to have some experiences. You're going to have some stories to tell. Anything good in life you want takes time. So with that being said, stay tuned for more videos. This has been A Broad State of Mind. Thank you for watching.